Welcome, everybody. Hello, Uglies, and welcome back to the Cup Pod, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real in the tea. In reality, you can always come here first to quench your thirst. I am Brook, and I'm passionate about pop culture. And there was so much crap that occurred in this episode, and I say that with multiple meanings of the filth category return, but also just so many changes in placements within the competition that it was hard to keep up. But yeah, I am drinking a milkshake from Steak and Shake because they make good milkshakes. Shout outs to Steak and Shake. And I'm joined to talk about some Dragula by these two lovely people.
Yeah, howdy y'all. It's Mike, your buff bodybuilding correspondent down in Dallas, Texas. I put the him and himbo and the gay and video gamer and maybe the bay and basic. Let me know. Tell me what you think about my opinions. And in America today, we are celebrating Election Day. Y'all all better be celebrating. Y'all all better be putting your voice and make it known out there. Because we really need all the votes we can right now. So, yep, Election Day in America.
Yeah. Hi, hello, and I'm Micha, your Persian correspondent, and I'm drinking almost tepid lemongrass tea. I haven't had much spicy food today, which I love usually because this episode was so spicy I didn't even need one.
That.
Yeah, so we're talking about episode 5 of Dragula Titan season 2 today. Just when you thought it wouldn't be as messy anymore. Just when you thought it was safe to go back outside. Bam! The sequel.
Exactly.
That reference. You're a deep cut Drag Race fan. Beside the point. Yeah, so we're coming off the heels of 4 people being in the bottom. Those people being Abhora, Zavaleta, Dollya, and Jaharia. Who knows how many of them were going to go home? We had our disgusting food challenge that sent Abhora to the hospital. So we don't really know what we were going to be getting ourselves into this week coming into this episode. But we start with the Boulet message once again in their lovely little room, reading the girls for filth for some reason this week.
And the
I don't know what's gotten into them this season, but every time they do one of these, it feels like they're just getting more and more jaded as time goes on with these.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Just like a good horror franchise, it gets jaded the longer we stay.
True.
More self-referential, more meta, more like looking at the mirror and making fun of what you see. So...
what everybody else sees. And this time around, they didn't even shush the speaking rug.
Yeah.
So our monsters come into the lab, and at first we get all the people that are safe, and there's this conversation about who they think's gonna go home, who they want to go home. Cynthia begins being shady towards Blackberri again. We'll get into that. But then Abhora comes into the room first. No surprise. I think we all kind of figured Abhora would come back.
Unless she was medevacked.
Yeah. So from what we have now been able to turn out, it was raw meat. a raw
I thought
kidney.
it was raw meat.
Well, okay,
Kidney.
but
Yeah,
you would think that they wouldn't put actual raw meat on a table with cooked meat that they can eat. I thought it might have been a wax prop or something, but apparently not.
I was thinking the meat closest to them is the one that, and I think I talked about it last week. Fear Factor and all that stuff. They usually boil the stuff. They usually cook it, cure it, so that it's not, like bad for them to eat. And so, yeah, I guessed it was raw meat at the very first, but like, I don't know why production wouldn't just, like when they start eating, just take the plates off before they start, so that. They're going to go into a frenzy, and Abhora went into a frenzy, and she was just putting on a performance. And I can understand that. You get the adrenaline of the performance. You're not thinking of the rules and everything. And yeah, she got a big old mouthful of raw meat.
Meat.
I love how they
Blood
just say
druid.
a kidney. Like, they don't specify what animal it was, like where the kidney came from. Just a kidney. But beside the point,
And
no stomachs were pumped, no medication was taken. They sent Abhora to the hospital as a safety precaution, apparently, because Abhora did throw up after the challenge. And I will give this to Dollya Black at the recommendation of Dollya Black.
yeah,
So there you go. Dollya, you get a star from us today. Congratulations.
At least this.
well,
And with JK also responding that was so punk, and I agree. I agree.
honestly, it was fun to watch. It was also really fun to hear. I think it was like Swanthela be like, "You should not have eaten that. That was not the move."
And that was no surprise, but by contrast, Jaharia. No.
Yeah, so
not surprised.
Jaharia comes in. Again, no one's really surprised by this. I think they kind of figured Jaharia was all but certain to be coming back. Jaharia mentions that Dollya was eating very dainty and very lightly.
It's like nibbling.
Yeah. And Zavaleta not really mentioned. No one's really talking about where Zava's at, like what's going on. But we do get the beginnings of and we're also getting an ambulance going by. Maybe it's for Abhora. No, okay, great.
Not bad.
No, but we do get mentions that Dollya was kind of just not really into it and kind of looked defeated and wasn't really actively engaging in the extermination. And then eventually enough time passes where they figure Zavaleta and Dollya Black were both exterminated this week. Not too surprised, to be honest. I think they had kind of hit their point where Dollya's drama was becoming too much for the show, and they didn't want it to continue that way. And this was Zava's third time in the bottom, so should have been Zava's third time in the bottom, according to the judging that we've received from the Boulets.
I was going to say, on paper.
On paper, should be Zavaleta's third time in the bottom.
Not our bottom.
Yeah,
I would
but
have
also
Zava
the
in the
girls.
bottom one time to this point. A singular
But not
time.
three.
No,
three.
I would have had Zava out of their team in the Haunted House Party, I would have had Zava in the bottom there. And again, we mentioned it in that episode, none of that team were even remotely close to the bottom 4 or 5 out of that challenge. But I don't get the whole Gothic Bride bottom placement for Zavaleta. I don't really get this bottom placement for Zavaleta either. Here we are. Yeah, they're both gone. How are we feeling?
I feel like it feels a little clean for production to take two contestants whose drama was a bit stepping into a weird territory, and not to take anything away from what Zava went through or anything like that, or Dollya for that matter. But I think production was feeling like, okay, the tone of the season is kind of veering into a very negative scenario. So I think maybe they wanted to, this was a good moment for them to be like, you know what, we need double eliminations. They're on the schedule. Now is the time to do that. So.
Yeah, that felt kind of correct. And also it was interesting. I wouldn't say suspicious, because on Titans, Boulets do what they want, and how they do the eliminations. That is the first time, and probably the only so far, when we had an actual extermination instead of going up gruesome ghostly gallows. But it's interesting, yeah, we all collectively here disagree that Zava should have been in the bottom 2 the last 2 episodes. But the girls seem to kind of agree. Even there was this genius joke said that if it wasn't for Evah, Zaha would be in the bottom 3 times, meaning the first episode as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we see this weird interaction between Evah and Sigourney one more time. Then Evah saying she's not regretting putting Sig's name up for elimination. Sigourney again being like, try me, bitch, or something like this.
Well, speaking of Evah and Sigourney, we should probably bring JK into the conversation now. Where Jay has a moment.
The block. Sorry.
Yes,
the door.
So Jay has a moment at the table where Jay's like, look, I'm just going to be honest now. I'm coming for, we've gotten all the drama out of the competition. Dollya is gone. We don't got to worry about that anymore. I'm going to be coming for the people that are front runners, and I'm looking right at you, Evah. And heavy hitters was the direct quote that was used multiple times in this conversation. And Evah's JK's priority, right? Yes. Good choice.
Finally. I wrote finally. It felt like, why are they all focusing on Sigourney when Evah's right there and is performing better on paper and, in my opinion, also drag-wise than Sigourney so far in the competition? Yeah. Like, Evah is the front runner, if not for JK. I think JK and Evah are like neck and neck at this point in the competition.
They are.
So, yeah, look at your biggest competition and be like, I'm going to try and stumble them wherever I can.
So, fun side note, after this episode, Evah and JK have the exact same track record, with the only difference being that JK won a singular fright feat. So, if the fright feat matters, JK is ahead by this much after this episode. It does really feel like we're getting to that point where that might be like the showdown to end this, to get towards the end of the season. But I will say, seems like some other people at the table are not really feeling this energy. Notably, Sigourney, because we get this little weird interaction where Sigourney's like, I don't know, I want to take down Evah. I don't really want anyone else to do it. That's my job. So it was a really interesting start to our episode on that end. And then the Cynthia and Blackberri stuff briefly stirs up at the table, which, to borrow a quote from JK later in the episode, girl, that was week 1. It's week 5.
I think, but like Cynthia then mentions that the reason she's upset is that Blackberri said that she, quote, did not give a fuck that she put Cynthia in the bottom, and that incensed her, as we'll see later in the episode.
Yeah, a lot. And to quote Jaharia, Jaharia said about the situation that probably it's because Blackberri said, I don't give a fuck, which literally did. Which was true.
So, we then get our Boulet message. Divas. Oh, yeah, yes, Mike.
One more thing. Before they announced who was going to be eliminated, Cynthia is just like, shut the door, bitch! And then they like took the mannequins and then they crossed the doorway.
Yeah.
And then when they learned that Cynthia had another funny moment where they were talking about Dollya Black, of course, like when she's out of the room, like in any reality show, this is the case. They're going to, talk bad about her behind her back and how frustrated they were with her. And Cynthia has a funny moment where she's just like, Dollya Black was just the cause of all the problems. She caused the LA fires. Just me and Jonathan laughed out loud. We just busted out laughing. She is the confession queen of the season.
Cynthia Doll reminds me why I love watching reality TV. Because even if statistically Cynthia hasn't been the best competitor all season, right? She's not been bad, don't get me wrong, right? She's not like top of the competition right now, but she's been pretty consistently good for the most part. She has been so fucking funny in everything that she's done that even if like Cynthia could literally go full Jan, be safe the entire season and get eliminated, and I would still think she brought more value than a lot of other people that I've seen on TV recently. But yeah, Cynthia's been great this season, and I'm happy to say that we're going to get at least another episode for her. So we go to our flat screen for our Boulet message. And, I'd like to think that I was listened to and the Boulets time traveled back to listen to what I said at the end of the last episode because it's the holiday challenge. Yay! I feel seen. I feel heard. I feel vindicated. So in case you all didn't see season 6, this is a filth challenge, specifically a filth challenge.
You're muted.
It can be spooky. It can be glamour. It can be somewhere in between, but it better be filthy. So each monster is going to dress up in something akin to any holiday. It could be literally anything. And then they have to perform an act of filth during the floor show. Nothing specific, just an act of filth. This is legitimately one of the best challenge concepts they have ever came up with. You can gut pretty much anything. Like, if you want to get rid of anything other than, like, Monsters of Rock for this, I'm down. Make this a permanent mainstay. You could get rid of the horror icon challenge for this, and I would be fine with it. I don't think you should, but you could.
This was such a great challenge. This is also season 6 where this is Chicken Gate, I'm sure, raw Chicken Gate in the Cauldron.
That's why it was mentioned twice during this episode. Yeah. So much.
Oh my gosh, raw meat everywhere in this episode.
Yeah, throw chicken. Yeah.
And Yuri with like the deflect.
Yeah. I love that it was literally in their recommendations, basically. Yeah, perform the act of filth so gross it would literally make our stomachs churn. Throw a chicken on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So we get a little note about Chicken Gate, and then we just go straight into the lab. This felt very nice to not have drama take up my entire lab segment before the floor show. So
I literally wrote lab segment ? Question mark. But this is like the second one this season. So.
Yeah. So we get to see some work on some of the outfits. Sigourney mentioning filth, not really her thing. Doesn't really know what it means, but she's going to take something that she finds filthy, and that's what she's going to do. She's going for July 4th, but instead of taking a page out of the Majesty playbook, she's going to dress up as the Statue of Liberty, and we'll see where it goes from there. Priscilla, on the other hand, is doing Father's Day, and we get a little bit of a backstory about her relationship with her father. It's not really good from what we can gather. Not gonna go into the minutia of that relationship because it is nobody's fucking business. But she hints that it's not very great and they don't really talk. But she's trying to deliver a message to the trans community in this performance, in this floor show, to try to brighten up the perspective for herself and for other people. And in a way, tell me if you all got this too. This kind of felt like a little bit of Priscilla working through a little bit of trauma to me. Of like,
I got that as well.
Because she literally said that at first she was going to glue the bead and basically do the makeup as her father, but that it was too triggering, so she decided to go for like a generic male version of her face. That's why, yeah, she literally said that about.
It's a really tough story, and it's we'll talk about it later in the performance. But this touched me, and it's sadly not an uncommon story for transgender people and their own families. So,
yeah. And for the most part, we get a little bit of look and see what other people are doing. But the important two things that happen during this segment, the first of which is JK pulling Jaharia aside for a little chat. Now, importantly, we didn't mention this during our first portion of this episode, but the friend who Jaharia listened to about her outfit was apparently JK. Which I don't, okay, to be honest, I don't know who was right here. I don't really care. I find it fucking hilarious.
I like to think like they said like, oh, it was an inflection of like, oh, Jaharia, you look cute. like Gia Guns, you look good.
Good.
Like
the pause in the middle.
Yeah. And the Jaharia was like, no. You just said you look cute. Like there was no inflection. So roll the tape, roll clip. we need the
Never saw it. Don't know who's telling the truth, but I will say, I don't care. It's funny as hell.
It is hilarious.
So we get this moment where Jay's like trying to talk to Jaharia and be like, hey, I hope you don't feel some type of way about this. If you do, I apologize. That wasn't my intention. Because I have a proposition for you, girl. Jay goes to Jaharia and says, look, the two of us and Evah have been doing the best in this competition statistically. Why don't we team up to take her out? And Jaharia kind of ropes Blackberri into the conversation and says that it would be really awesome for the final three to be all Black performers, which, yes, it would be very awesome for that to happen. I approve this message.
That's why I'm very upset with what happened. It's hilarious, but I'm upset with what happened next. So,
yeah, same.
This sounds hilarious.
So they pinky swear.
Pinky swear.
And not only with some props from JK.
Yeah, JK drops a little dot on both their thumbs and pinky swear. And then Jaharia immediately goes and tells Evah and Sigourney what's going on.
Did she not see episode 1? Wasn't Jaharia broke another pinky swear there as well? Like,
pinky promises are sacred. Pinky promises don't mean shit.
They don't mean shit to Jaharia.
No, I'm just quoting at the beginning of that episode. I don't remember who said there was. Pinky promises are sacred. It's Zavaleta. Pinky promises don't mean shit. Yeah.
Please tell me there's one more pinky promise this season.
Rule of threes. There's got to be one more. But Jaharia tells Evah, and then Sigourney wanders over, and she tells Sigourney, and Sigourney and Evah agree to a bit of a truce for now, for the time being, because the two of them are now going after JK.
This is great for Evah. Like, Evah was probably going to do that anyway. She was like, that's the person who has the best track record here besides me. Sig's great, but she's not at JK's like track record level at this point. So,
and also it's cool that Evah basically finds herself surrounded by the most alliances at the same moment, and she gives a hilarious confessional saying that little did JK know that Jaharia was already on my team. So.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, I wish we had seen that at some point. I wish they had showed a little bit more of that before this episode. But I mean, again, it wasn't really relevant until now, so I get why maybe they didn't. However, this segment and this portion, as much as I would love to discuss it more in depth, it is not the important part of this lab. I would like to present you with round 4 of Blackberri versus Cynthia Doll.
The second time while getting ready.
Yes, Blackberri made no pinky promises. Indeed.
Yeah. So we get a little bit of a moment where Cynthia earlier had kind of wanted to clear the air with Blackberri because Blackberri said she hadn't really heard her out. So Cynthia tries in her way to give Blackberri a way to hear her out. Blackberri starts trying to justify her actions. Cynthia is having none of it. And Cynthia's continued statement of "You never even said you're sorry," to which Blackberri responds for "Good, because I'm not." Essentially.
That was hilarious. Yeah, you didn't even say you're sorry. I'm not sorry.
Good, I'm not sorry. And Cynthia calls Blackberri a fake bitch, a fake friend. Says that if she's not sorry for putting her in the bottom, then she never really was her friend. Then Cynthia leaves the room.
I knew this. I wrote this down before it happened. I was like, is Cynthia going to leave the room again, just like she did last time? And on cue, she leaves the room, but she doesn't quite leave because then she's yelling from the hallway.
And Blackberri actually throws back the door to Cynthia, which is also hilarious.
We were getting there, Micha. So Cynthia leaves. Blackberri, I don't want to say continues to talk crap, but more just like trying to talk to the room about it. Cynthia, again, having none of it, begins yelling from the hallway, comes back into the room, and they keep going back and forth at each other, to which Blackberri then throws to Cynthia, well, there's the door, bitch, which... Cynthia, girl, you know I love you. You know I love you. Blackberri kind of ate on that one.
That was a good one.
It was great. So, and also, I love how Jaharia has now been excluded from this entire thing.
I don't know how she got away with it, and JK continues to be Cynthia's best friend, unwitting, almost like hostage situation.
Well, Jay, I think Cynthia kind of got the idea that it was either going to be Jay or her. So I don't think she's mad at Jay about it. We talked about it during episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
But with Jaharia, I'm really curious because Cynthia said that Blackberri never even showed remorse. And maybe she's taking Jaharia's crying and emotional state about it to be her form of remorse. I don't know what Blackberri's feeling. I know what Blackberri's feelings are. I know what Cynthia's feelings are. This is the kind of drama on Dragula I live for. It's
so... I love you, Cynthia, but this is just so inconsequential. It's just and they even say it. The other monsters say it. It's this is week 1. What are we still doing about it? Why are we still talking about this? But it's so hilarious. It's so hilarious. And yeah.
The best part of it all is Cynthia literally doesn't let Blackberri finish any sentence whatsoever. And then Jaharia, becoming the new BFF of Cynthia once again, when she pulls her out in the back room to discuss it, and she literally says, "Girl, you didn't listen to it." And Cynthia, "No, I was giving her the platform. I was trying to listen to it." No, you get overboard. And there is this genius confessional by Cynthia to Cynthia herself saying, "Yeah, maybe I went a little bit overboard with this." Yeah.
I wrote that one down. She was just maybe I did overact a little bit.
It was very irritating, I must say.
Cynthia she is delivering. She is delivering this season.
Just yeah.
Cynthia delivers. I don't know why you're gagging. She brings it to you every episode.
It's true. It's on the runway. It's off the runway. She's bringing it.
It's on TikTok Live. She's bringing it to you everywhere. But speaking of on the runway.
Attention competitors. Attention competitors. The floor show is about to begin.
Fantasia Royale Gaga for Titans 3, please. Thank you very much.
Also, the funniest shot of Sigourney painting her butt green or that blue green in the thing. Mm-hmm. I just rolled over laughing. This was a good one. This is a good alarm. So
it's time to talk about our looks. We are going to be teabagging them, but first, there are times in life where all you could just say is,
"Yay." I'm not getting murdered.
Because I get to watch Jennifer Tilly on Dragula again. Yay!
Mother has arrived.
Mother has arrived, indeed. Oscar nominee, professional poker player, Real Housewife of Beverly Hills, one of the richest actresses in Hollywood that you didn't know was one of the richest actresses in Hollywood, Jennifer Tilly. And, of course, the creator of Child's Play franchise, Don Mancini.
Queer icon.
Every season. Every season.
Yes.
I need this every season. This exact pairing for any challenge. Bring them on for like the most conceptual look challenge you possibly have. Bring them on for Kaiju Week. I don't care.
They can do everything. They literally can do it all.
They're so creative, and they have like such lovely but twisted like creative minds, and they give such great critiques. This was they're 2 for 2. This is their second time, right? They're 2 for 2, like on the judging panel. Amazing. Also, Jennifer Tilly is just like putting the rest of them to shame with this dress. This dress is
Eating. Yeah.
I love it.
I cannot believe Don Mancini is in his 60s. That feels wrong. He looks very
Is he
good for his
really?
60s. He is 63.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. Gay icon Don Mancini. Thank you, champ.
Yes.
We love you.
Yes.
Icon. The Boulet is going very literal this week with witches. It looks really great. I hesitate to say it looks expensive because it does kind of look expensive. But
I was a little confused. Like, I understand it's holidays and they were doing more Halloween, but I was like, we're like a 1 week late for the Halloween look.
yeah, in the intro they say, "Oh, it's not a holiday." Well, every day's a holiday here, and I'm like, I mean, sure, Jan. I can't argue with you on your own show, but all I'm saying is it was a very easy thing to do to swap this and the Nosferatu Beach Party. That's all you had to do, and it would have been great. Yeah. So let's get into these looks. First off, we have Priscilla Chambers, like we mentioned, doing a Father's Day inspired outfit. Okay. I would like to be very clear, and the Boulets even mentioned this in their critique as well. The message that is coming across here is very important and very powerful and something that cannot be ignored. Didn't really get dragged from this until the very end. It's very minimal, which is fine. It doesn't always have to be an over-the-top look, but it's also just the way the shape is very minimal. The outfit itself is just kind of, you can buy it off the rack and then sew the patches into it. And like, again, that's not a knock on Priscilla. That's kind of what she had to go for here. But it kind of makes me hope that maybe it would need to be like retooled a little bit to try to fit the challenge a little bit better. And that's just me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. This message is it's heavy. I got chills while she was performing this. It was a really sad, somber kind of message. And I think those are important on Dragula. Dragula isn't just, shits and giggles and stuff like that. Like, there are real issues facing these contestants, these monsters in the real world. And, it's important to have these messages like displayed out there. They're really powerful. I do kind of agree. I think the filth aspect could have been upped a little bit. And I think that the Father's Day could have been more apparent. I did get dad from it, from this look. So I don't think the Boulets being completely unsure that it was Father's Day. I don't agree with that critique. I just think that there could have been more done to kind of shown Father's Day. I do it is a red hat with white lettering. I think that is very purposefully chosen there.
No.
Yeah. So, I think there could have just been more to kind of indicate fatherhood, and a more of a filth aspect. I think what was shown was shocking, And I think that is kind of filthy in a way, but I guess it's just not exactly what I would put for filth for this. I think I could think of other things to put that strong message out there for. I'm not going to give this a tea or a bag because I feel like it's kind of outside the realm of that. It's Priscilla's own performance and message. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the look.
Yeah, I also thought that the critique that they weren't getting Father's Day until Priscilla showed the photo, which by the way was very like brave and honest and vulnerable of her to do the actual photo of her as a child with her father. They didn't get. I thought that was a bit of a superfluous critique because it was kind of obvious from pretty much the get-go that it was like a father figure. I agree with you that it's. I wouldn't say it still fits the brief because this like shows filth not like literally as an object, but as a more as a concept, and as a concept it is pretty like filthy. And even of the 4 tenets of Dragula, given the subject, I doubt if it's more horror, if it's more filth. I think it's still more filth probably. But yeah, up until like the very end, the very performance, it was more like a meta commentary on a very important subject for Priscilla. So yeah, it's really hard to rate it on a scale from tea to bag. Maybe it was an empty body bag.
Yeah. I would also like to just go ahead and say I personally don't really feel comfortable scoring it, but I will say in terms of its relation to the challenge, I got the holiday. I do think the filth aspect was a miss for me. But that's just me. So yeah, are we all comfortable just not rating this one way or the other and moving on?
I think we gave our fair thoughts on it while acknowledging how powerful it is.
Absolutely. Next up, Disasterina. I can't do the voice. I'm so sorry.
Disasterina.
Thank you. Mike.
I'll do it when Logan's not here.
Well, it might be the last time. So as a Krampus, sure. I didn't think it was bad. I don't understand the Pentagon worth of boobs, but here we are. Yeah, it was pretty good from top to bottom. I think the construction looked good. I got Krampus from it. I think the hair might have been a bit much. I think she might have been able to do this look bald, and I think it might have looked a little bit better. But other than that, I just think it was a pretty solid look from top to bottom. All of the heads in the little metal tube looked really cool. The way she did the act of filth of pulling one of those heads out, these decapitated heads out, ripping the head open and eating whatever she had put inside to like replicate brains was really great. Yeah, I think this is pretty solid from top to bottom for me.
I'm going to disagree with you on this one, Brook. I think that the idea of a Krampus for Christmas is really unoriginal, in my opinion. And if you're going to do it, you better do it like amazing. And I just don't think it's at that level for me. The boobs are fine for me. Because like Krampus is a goat, just on my shirt. So like it's like an animal kind of like mammary glands kind of thing. I just think the midsection I really disliked. I thought it was kind of disjointed between the different parts of the look. The gore, the filth and gore aspect, I do like, but I think I wish it was more. I wish that she went just so far into it. She was just right there to being like kind of this ferocious beast. I think what's lacking for me is like, for such an obvious look, I need like a level of polish from this. I did like the filth aspect, and that helps the look a bit, but it's going to be a slight bag for me.
First of all, yeah, I was so disheartened by Disastarina's position in the critiques, but I kind of get where it's coming from. Also, we get a confession from Abhora saying that Disasterina can go full filth. She can go like full throttle, and she kind of didn't. Yeah, for me, actually, the problem is probably the reimagining of it. Yeah, because you do get the holiday, but I wish like the color scheme was somewhat completely different. Maybe in her mind, the boob situation was exactly the like over the topness that she was hoping for. Because like, yeah, let's give the goat like this multi boob grenade situation. Yeah, sure, but it still kind of fell. I wouldn't say flat, but yeah, kind of not enough. If a goat was like, I don't know, Mayhem Miller Christmas special goat, something like black and green goat, that would be so cool. But imagine her like doing not like blackface, obviously, but I mean if she was into some like very dark color palette instead of like white, that'd probably help. There should be, yeah, there literally can be some more imagining done to that, because she kind of stayed literal, and the filth aspect, it was done, but also like, you know, just like to have it, the bookmark checked, but not to go like full throttle. But yeah, it's so unfortunate because I so not didn't want Disasterina to land at the bottom. Yeah, it's gonna be slide back for me as well.
I mean, I was gonna give it tea, and I will still continue to give it tea. So yeah, we'll see where we're at with Disasterina in a little bit. Next up, Cynthia Doll. Valentine's Day. When she first came out, we're gonna talk about this bottom left image first, in this like big heart-shaped container, and then she ripped it open. I'm like, that's good. That's real cute. I like that a lot. I don't know if it was the best executed thing I've seen Cynthia walk with on the runway this season. I don't think it's bad by any means. I think across the board, I think it's just a really well-constructed look. I don't think it's really taking any major risks, but I also don't think it really needed to. I think it's just a really well-constructed garment. You immediately get what she's going for. And yeah, I think Cynthia looks pretty great, honestly. T, very clearly.
Yeah, this is a solid T for me. I loved the reveal. I think the only critique that I think I could have for the look, because the look is great, but I think she could have gone more, and she could have gone more into the filth aspect. I think they talked about that. Like if she's ripping the heart open, like maybe have some sinew for the heart reveal rip, and have like it like the gore kind of like come out on the stage, and maybe more teeth, just to kind of give this gruesome, grotesque, just some ideas. But otherwise, it's a solid T for me.
Yeah, it's a very solid T for me as well. It's interesting how Cynthia almost went full Sig and made it glamour instead of filth. And I'm not mad at this because we need more of this look for Cynthia in particular as well. The idea was great. Yeah, the moment of the ripping of the heart was great as well. I just think, yeah, the filth aspect, like as you said, Mike, it could have gone slightly further, especially given that she now has a pretty long, warm and fuzzy history of consuming maggots, say. Then she could have had some maggots within this heart, and yeah, something like this. But still, it's a very hot tea for me.
Glad to see we're all in agreement. I was worried we were going to fight on this one.
The judges were tripping on this one.
I would agree. Next up, we have Jaharia. Okay. I'm going to sound like the biggest idiot on the planet. It took me a solid 10 seconds to figure out what she was going for when she came out. Because I immediately got like the April Fool's, like the jester kind of vibe from it. And then I saw the bag and I'm like, oh, she's an elf. Okay, now that makes sense. And then I put the pieces together very quickly. Either way, I think it works. I think it has that nice like I don't know why the red and green color palette didn't make sense, like didn't pop immediately into my head of, oh yeah, it's Christmas. But no, I think she did a really great job. I just think it's just a really well constructed outfit. I love and this is something I always love about when people do those like traditional elf designs, when they get that like V pattern in the neckline. That it's really indicative of a lot of these clothing, but it's something that's easy to screw up. So the fact that she constructed it that well, where you can see the fine detailing on each of those pieces, like those little stones on each of those pieces to make it pop a little bit more. I think it looks great. I don't know how she got that many bells on that damn outfit without any of them falling off in this performance. It was impressive as hell. Absolute tea. Jaharia continues to eat this competition every week.
I'm going to give this a very tepid tea for me. I think it's the concept for me, like a kind of evil elf, gremlin, like goblin kind of thing. Again, it comes down to kind of, it's an obvious choice for me. And it's just kind of executed just as kind of you would expect. Nothing really kind of surprises me with the look. The way she performs it was excellent, and Jaharia never misses with that. So that was the best part of the look for me. But like, just kind of, for me, it's a little unoriginal in my opinion. And again, like I'm going to say on Disasterina, if you're going to go for something that is kind of a first thought, it's got to be executed like all the way up to the 9s, the 10s, and it just isn't there for me. But it's still, the performance is really good. It's a slight T for me.
I actually think it's such a great bounce back from last week when Jaharia had this unfortunate outfit. I do think this was pretty original in a sense that not like the thought process, but the execution, which, as Brook said, it gave you some time to think what was this particular elf about. And once she got it, it was like, okay. But by that time, Jaharia was literally face fucking all the cameras she could around her. I mean, this she's always great in the performance, but this in particular, she was literally like turning heads to like be straight into cameras around her, and I loved it so much. I got the grossness, I got the filth, I really enjoyed her makeup there, and it's very hot tea for me.
Next up, we have my new sleep paralysis demon, Blackberri. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. I don't give a fuck that this table fell apart. I don't care. I could not look at her during this performance. It grossed me out that bad. I don't get grossed out like that. I really don't. I have sat through many a body horror movie several times. One of my favorite horror movies is the movie Society. Shout out to Dead Meat for showing me that movie for the first time. Thank you very much. So like, I've seen plenty of good old-fashioned body horror. This got to me. This grossed me the fuck out. This is by far the filthiest outfit on the runway. Thanksgiving is kind of the perfect holiday to choose for this, because the whole thing about Thanksgiving is it is literally the holiday where you eat until you cannot eat anymore and then you chill. It's perfect for this. And I think Blackberri knew that. The execution on this prosthetic headpiece that she has on right now, I don't know which one, if it's an overhead mask or if it's literally just like a face cast or whatever she did, is incredible. I cannot look at it. I am literally having to cover it right now because it is triggering me that bad. My only knock obviously would be the table falling apart, but I mean, honestly, quite frankly, I still don't care. I don't care. Absolute incredible work from Blackberri. T for sure. T for sure.
Yeah, the judges are losing their mind. I don't care that the table fell apart. This is amazing. This is my favorite look of the week. This is incredible. I love like the technical proficiency of it. The performance is just absolutely disgusting. The body horror, the filth coming from it. I also like the commentary kind of on it, because Thanksgiving literally is, from its roots, is kind of this American commercialized gluttonous overconsumption kind of holiday. It's just all of kind of the overconsumption of Americanism, all encapsulated into one end. I know other countries have this, but I mean, she's referencing American Thanksgiving. So it's just absolutely grotesque. I love the that sort of aspect of it, the commentary. The table falling apart, that's kind of an extra perk for me, because I thought maybe she didn't have much on underneath, but when we were seeing in the Cauldron, she had like a full outfit on. It wasn't like there was like a sparse underneath, like waist down. She was dressed in costume from the waist down. So I wasn't even that upset about any of that. This was filthy. This is disgusting. Piping hot chai tea grande. This is my favorite look of the week.
Yeah,
Icon mother left in the world chai tea grande.
Yes.
if you could spice chai tea grande up additionally with Desiree Dick's chicken seasoning, that would be it. This is Desiree Dick's chicken reincarnate.
Oh my God, she's the Desiree Dick chicken.
That chicken did not die. It crystallized.
Yeah, crystallized. And now it's a Amazon bitch ready for the runway.
Indeed. Here you are. Very trend. I mean, it's phenomenal. The face mask, especially, the face does give literally some of the Bird horror movies, like all the classics. It's so good. I think that the table falling apart is actually a feature for her performance. It's just a commentary of having a table so overcramped with food that it broke by itself, and it's so cool. Yeah, I mean, the filth, the disgust, the gore is all there. All the green, all the slimy, like gooey spots on her looks like it was a trash city or some concoction of sorts. That's like, an art object made of literal like filth, trash, and what you find in trash cans. So, just kudos to her. Yeah, that chicken didn't even need to fly. That's a very hot chai tea grande.
8. Next up, we have Evah Destruction. Or in my mind, Evah got saved by production. This was my least favorite look of the week by far. In terms of for the challenge, in connection to the challenge. She looks great, obviously. I mean, it's Evah. She's always going to look great. But in reality, it's not a holiday. She comes out with this harpy outfit, right? Which, again, looks stunning. And she has a bow and arrow, and there's a couple of hearts, like, on this belt that she's, like, spinning around with. And I got that she was going for Valentine's Day. When I see heart and a bow and arrow, I mean, it's kind of your only options, right? But it's not Cupid-ish. It's not really anything. Harpies have nothing to do with Valentine's Day, to my knowledge, at least. And I'm gonna just borrow what the Boulets here. It was kind of like she said, well, I want to wear this harpy outfit with this Valentine's Day things put on top of it. I think this should put her in the bottom regardless of how well she executed it, because it wasn't the challenge. The actual outfit itself would be T, but because this is not the Dungeons and Dragons challenge, as the Boulets put it, bag. I'm sorry, Evah.
I mean, this look is amazing. She looks amazing, and I think she performed well in it. But I do agree with you, Brook. If it wasn't for that bow and arrow, you would never get Cupid from this. You would never get Valentine's Day. I think I do like the idea of like Cupid as this bloodthirsty harpy. I like that concept. I think it's very inventive, and I think it's very clever and unique. But I think there should be more done to kind of make it abundantly clear that this is Valentine's Day. If you want to do this harpy look, that's great. I think that's a great concept and a great idea. It's unique. I think Evah should have done more to make it abundantly clear that was the holiday she was doing. She's doing this on the holiday runway. So you need to make sure that it's fitting that prompt. And I think she just kind of missed the mark in that regard. The look and the performance were really, really good for me. So for that, I am going to give her a slight T, but she loses a lot of marks because, again, it's without that bow and arrow, without the struck guy, and which I think was a real person. It wasn't a mannequin or anything during her filth aspect. I think she got one of the hot guys to lie down and her just eat on top of him. If it wasn't for all that performance, that's what puts it into slight T for me. Otherwise, like it does miss the mark. I agree with you, Brook.
I disagree with both of you. Not because I'm a delusional Evah stan, but because also I think that Evah is a very smart girl, and she knows that Boulets have plenty of like specific horror movie references. And I thought that it might be like a callback to Harper the movie, when like a normal, ordinary like dude. It's like from the 70s, horror from the 70s, when an ordinary dude takes Harper to her home. To his home, sorry, and basically the Harper devours everything which is near and dear to himself. So, and also in the challenge, you need to for a holiday to be shown somewhere, and in this case, she gets there, and she gets there quite visibly to like this bow and arrow stuff. So I don't know. I still think that she nailed kind of both parts of the challenge. Plus, she looked amazing. Did she look like filthy and gory while consuming from the hot guy like the devilish pit crew? Yes, she did. I love it that in this headshot she kind of looks like Disasterina. What would happen if Disasterina was safe?
It is
And
very
that's-
Disasterina.
and that's completely new and different for Evah, so props to her for that. So for referencing, probably going for that special like movie like where Harpers do cross with Valentine's Day, and going to kind of lick the boot of the Boulets in that regard. I'm not mad at this for her. It's still pretty hot tea for me, and I wouldn't put her anywhere near the bottom because she still did meet the brief, and we have seen the holiday eventually. If even, I also didn't get it like from the first 10 seconds, but that was not a challenge.
Yeah. We'll have to agree to disagree on this one, Micha. Moving on to JK. Mardi Gras? Girl, that was so smart. Oh, hell yes. Coming out with every single aspect of Mardi Gras that I want to see. We get the jester look that is so critical to a lot of the iconography. The purples, the yellows, the greens, the beads. She was throwing beads into the imaginary audience off stage like an icon. God, this was so great. But then for the filth aspect, she's crushing King's Cake into her front mouth, right? And then turning around, and her sad back mouth is then shooting up green vomit out of the back. And also, I don't know if you clocked it, but in the very end when they were showing the replay, you could like very faintly see the little tube that she used to do that. I don't know how she made it do it on time. She probably had like some sort of like button or something that she pressed on the front when she was ready to go. However she did it, robbed. That is all I'm going to say for JK this week. Robbed. T.
Yeah, this was my second favorite look of the week. This was such a smart choice. It's not immediately like comes to mind when you think holidays, which is great. It's something new. It's something creative. JK just had so much fun with this as well. Playful. There was kind of this creepy.
Mike, hello.
Mike disappeared. Yeah.
Oh no, I thought it was me. I was like, well, I hope it's fixed by the time Misha's. No, it's Mike. Okay, we'll come back to Mike whenever Mike
Can you hear
gets
me?
back.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, okay, great. You cut out the Mike.
I don't know what that was. Anyways, JK. What was the last thing y'all heard from me?
You thought it was really great.
It was really playful. Such a creative, fun idea. It doesn't immediately come to mind. Just so unique. She had fun with it. And there was like this creepy glamour to the look, which is totally fine because the filth aspect was absolutely there. She brought out like the King's Cake, but the King's Cake was like these sort of like red marshmallowy intestines, and she put it in her mouth, and she put it in the mask mouth, and then the throw up. It's just the filth aspect was full throttle, so well performed. JK, this is piping hot tea. Love this.
Yeah, I mean, JK was so smart to basically make a redo and redemption from her season 5 like Neon round challenge that she didn't even like participate fully. But yeah, this was so cool because the colors are vivid. The Mardi Gras itself is such a cool choice. The shoes, oh my god, like the reflection, oh yeah, the symmetry of what she had on her head and on her legs. The three mouth thing, yeah, the grossness of it all. The ingenuity, the technical prowess that JK in season 5 would never have done. This is just such a great elevation, great performance, yeah, great goo, vomit, slime, and especially, I adored the feeding of the bottom mouth. That was so cool from the performative aspect. Yeah, very hot tea, maybe chai tea grande even.
Incredible, lovely, gorgeous, game changing. Sigourney Beaver. Now, we did briefly discuss this before we began recording, and I will say that the Divas and I do have a slight difference of opinion on this one. Whereas I think this look is really great. I think she did everything the assignment demanded of her, other than really nail the filth. I will say there were filth aspects to this. I think the green goop coming out of her mouth was really a nice touch. And I mean, I don't know how to say this without getting this video demonetized. But the filth act she performed involving the torch was a filth act that has been done to some respect a few times before in the past for other filth-related things. So, sure, it works. Could she have taken it a little bit further? Yes, obviously. But I think on the whole, this is just a really solid outfit from top to bottom. Sig looks great, as usual. Also, the audacity of the Boulets to say that she didn't look pretty to her face. Twice? Wild. But no, she looks great. The tea for me.
I love this concept. I think it's very clever. I think it's definitely an interesting take on 4th of July. Definitely the American iconography there. But I kind of like, there's a little bit of sort of a political message in it as well, because it's like kind of a sickly, deathly kind of Lady Liberty. Very poignant in like these times. I do like that she kind of toned down the glamour aspect. I think she's pretty, but the glamour is like toned down. And I think that was a great choice for her here. I will say what was missing for me is I think the filth aspect could have been taken so much more. When I saw that she had some like bluish, greenish, like goo kind of coming out of her mouth, I wanted more. I wanted it to be all over whenever she's doing the act and the filth portion. I wanted, honestly, like either blood or sort of green goo to kind of like gush out and just kind of like get all over the torch, all over the stage. Maybe she licks the torch a little bit. Like that's what we love seeing in the filth aspect, is like something that makes you go, ooh, like you don't want to look at it a little bit. Whereas like this, I do like the concept of it, but I feel like she could have gone further with it. And it's unfortunate for Sigourney because, like, I feel like she is under a magnifying glass in this specific challenge, because it's been said before, like people have been said like, oh, she's not really that filthy. I just wish she just proved them all wrong and just went full tilt filth with this, so that all the naysayers don't have anything to say on. And I think she had some filth aspects for this, but I don't think it was enough for me. I wish it was more. I wish she just went full tilt and she was like, screw y'all, I am filthy. Here's all this filthy stuff that I do in front of you and you can't say anything about it. But it just wasn't at that level for me. It's going to be a slight T for me, just from the lack of the filth. And that is the main focus of the challenge. But there are aspects I like of this look, and that's why it is on the T side for me.
I think maybe it's a bold claim that this could have replaced Cynthia as a bottom 3 placement for me. Especially, because of the lack of filth almost whatsoever. I think that, to borrow a quote from Jessie Ware, pleasing herself, I think we can say it without getting demonetized with this torch, was actually not filthy at all. If anything, it was kind of expected from Sig to have some kind of this Roger Rabbit act of sorts. I loved how the green slime from her mouth. I love that she was still oozing and bleeding during the judges' critiques when Dragonswan said to her face she was not pretty, and she was like, am I? It was kind of funny. It was still like oozing out of her. I love the color scheme for her. Love the tail. The commentary at the holiday, it was very smart of her. It was not at all the same route that both Majesty and Vivi the Force took last season. But I am for like missing half a challenge when everybody has done so great. I think it's still a slide back from me, although I really like this look. And she still looks pretty for me, and that's oddly enough kind of a problem.
Yeah. And finally, we have Abhora. I'm going to say something controversial. I'm going to say something very plain. This is not a Christmas tree. It's not. Christmas trees have way more branches than this. Christmas trees have this they're evergreen trees for a reason. They are the big green furry trees, right? And this has like a nice tree skirt of branches, but I wish there was more. I wish she would have taken it as far as she possibly could here, because right now it's just not there for me. I think visually, obviously, stunning look. I think the concept is really creative, but in terms of giving me Christmas tree, I didn't really get that from it. It gave me Earth Day, and I would have bought Earth Day from this, but that's not what she was trying to sell, because she put little ornaments on the bottom set of branches down there, and now it just kind of leaves me whelmed. I'm whelmed. I am going to give this an actual tea bag. It is yet to be prepared. It is not thrown in the bag yet, but it is a tea bag itself.
I'm going to disagree with you on this, Brooke. I love this look. I think it's excellent. I do understand the criticism that it's not so much Christmas tree. I'm going to be honest. I was a little spoiled. I saw one still of Abhora's look. So I thought it was Arbor Day. I thought that she was going to do Arbor Day, which would have been fierce. I think she probably could have cut a lot of the Christmas iconography off of the tree, and she already has like a skinned human on the tree anyway, so she could have had more of that sort of gore in the branches. I love the idea of like this sort of demonic creature with a chainsaw and everything. I don't know if you guys have seen the horror movie called The Guardian, which is about like a tree spirit that is like haunting like this newlywed couple with a young baby. It's really it's cheesy. It's very B-roll, but it's about like a demonic tree. And that's what it gave me reminds of, because there's an infamous chainsaw scene at the end of that movie. It gave me that sort of flashback. I don't know if she did that intentionally, but I liked that I got a reference like that from it. I thought it was so clever, so creative. I think the gore aspect is definitely there as well. This to me is hot tea. I do understand, like, it, Christmas, really, we could have done something else with it. Arbor Day, I think, would have been hilarious. Like, have a little like evil sapling kind of thing. But yeah,
I adore this look. For me, it's the best performance Abhora had this entire season, I think. With the new old order, obviously, from the Battle of the Bands, but also involving stilt-ish kind of legs, which is an interesting coincidence. I get where you're going. Yeah, saying it's not exactly Christmas, but who said that it's an afterlife of a Christmas tree, and afterwards they sometimes are much less sepia than that. Also, it's interesting that some of the judges, I think it was Jennifer or maybe Drag, who said that you can be Abhora for exactly Arbor Day. But I'm a huge sucker for everything when it's like turned upside down, like it's deconstructed. For instance, say the turkey is eating like a deconstructed human on Thanksgiving, and here the tree is consuming a human instead of vice versa. It was so cool. I mean, if this was the tree that Zava would be hugging last week, she probably would have gone home.
I was about to say, I saw a tweet a second ago. Saw a tweet that said this was Zava's tree grown up and winning a challenge. Yeah.
Absolutely. Otherwise, I really enjoyed her performance. And speaking of Teabag, I get where you're going from, Brook, because she did have ball sex involved in this performance. But I'm still giving this a piping hot tea. I think it's the best Abhora has done this entire season.
I literally just think this look gets immediately better if you take off any semblance of Christmas decorations from it and you just make it a normal tree. I think it is a 10 times better look. So that is it for our floor show as of this moment. I will go ahead and let you all know now before we get to the Hellbound Showdown. We were unable to pull good pictures for the Hellbound Showdown. There weren't really anything accessible online. If you would like to see those looks, they'll be posted on the Instagrams of both. Well, we'll talk about who's there in a little bit, but I'm assuming it'll be on their Instagrams sometime soon.
One of them already has posted it, I know for sure.
Well, there you go. So we'll talk about it, both of those performances shortly. But let's get into this judging. So we get to see Jaharia, Evah, and Blackberri are safe. They get sent to the back. How are we feeling about this?
Blackberri is robbed. What the hell?
Evah protected. That's just where I'm at. I don't know if she needed to be in the bottom two, but I think they could have given her a little kick in the butt of putting her in the bottom three this week. Because she didn't do the challenge. She didn't do the challenge.
I didn't have her in my bottom three, but she was closer than a lot of the other monsters this week for me.
I would have swapped. Well, I already said that. So yeah, my six would be Jaharia, Evah, and probably Cynthia. I would have put actually Sig in the bottom three, not in the bottom two, but Blackberri should absolutely be in the top three.
Yeah.
And of the top three, the win would be anybody's game.
Yeah, Blackberri even mentions that she's going back to her little confessional moment where she's like, I had a malfunction, but I'm happy that I get to stay safe. And I'm like, no, girl, that malfunction should have kept you from winning this challenge. You should have been high this week. And then they say she gets major points taken off from it. Like, we haven't seen plenty of times in the past where people have like a slight problem with a look and they still reward them to hell and back for it.
Yeah. There's something about props. If a prop goes wrong, the Boulets just like lose their mind. And then like Throb like never heard the end of it with all the prop like issues. There's like, oh, you did a prop. It doesn't matter that you have one of the best looks of the week, you know, like one prop went bad of your 50 and so you're not winning.
Well, to be fair, that happened to Throb like 4 different times on season 5. But like in this particular case, I don't know why they have like, okay, Blackberri may have a win, but this season hasn't really felt like they've been featuring Blackberri very much in terms of the critiques that they've been giving. Last week, I think it was kind of just undeniable that Blackberri won that floor show. I don't know how they could have walked and like danced around that. I think they should have put Blackberri in the top here, but that's just me.
Especially with who they. Well, we'll get there.
So we then get our top 3 of JK, Abhora, and Sigourney. I know that my 2 panelists don't agree with at least one of these selections. I don't agree with one of them either, but not the same one.
I think Sigourney's on the wrong list of 3 for me this week.
Same.
I would have had her in the bottom 3 for me.
Same. Yeah, I said it twice as well. Yeah.
I would have, honestly, the only person out of the tops here that I would have kept was JK, honestly. I think Sigourney could have been safe. I didn't really see any major issues with her outfit. I would have had Jaharia in the top this week, and I would have had Blackberri in the top this week. I think the 3 of them just really nailed this challenge from top to bottom. And personally, based on what we saw on the episode, I am curious where you all land. I would have given the win this week to JK, just based off of everything we saw this week. Mike, Micha, where are you guys at with that? Who would you have given the win to?
Out of this 3, JK.
Out of everybody, Blackberri.
Blackberri would have been my winner.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually fine if it's going to be either JK or Blackberri or actually Abhora. I think it's her best performance the entire season. So yeah, just for the win spread, it's better that she was given the win.
Well, speaking of, Abhora does win the floor show. I'm not mad. I don't think it's like a bad call. Again, I liked Abhora's outfit. I just think it is the detailing for me. Special note to the bird nose actually being kind of like a little baby branch on the edge of the tree. That was clever. I liked that quite a bit.
There's little details that Abhora has that I just really love this season. I feel like she's really focusing on the drag this season. There's a shot, I forgot to bring it up earlier, when Cynthia's yelling at Blackberri and just like Abhora's just walking in, just minding her own business and just looks at them fighting and then just walks past. And I'm like, good on you. Like, you're not in the middle of it this season.
Yeah. We also get a very funny moment after the winner is announced where JK and Sigourney and Abhora are told you all may leave the stage, but it says you all may leave the stage, not necessarily directed to the top 3. So Disasterina tries to go with them.
Good try.
Good try. And I love how Swan has to like walk it back and she said you 3 could leave the stage and not you all could leave the stage. And Disasterina was like, I had to try.
Yeah.
So funny. But we do get our bottom 3 this week of Priscilla, Cynthia, Disasterina. I'm getting this off my screen because it's on 2 lines. So I hate it when it does that. So we get told it's going to be the Guesty Galas this week. Cool. No problems there for me because then I don't have to wait another week to find out they went home. Thank you very much. And we go to the Cauldron.
Yes. What could go wrong?
Anything and everything, apparently.
You would think when Dollya and Zavaleta are not there that, there wouldn't be as much fighting, but nope. They found something new to fight about.
So we get a little, I don't want to even really call it an argument, but it was almost like an Evah, like a wink nudge, like, I know you're coming after me still, to JK, of like, I know more about what you're doing now. And I think Jay actually played this off pretty well of like, look, when I say that, I don't mean I'm going to try to play mind games with you. That's not what I'm doing. I mean, I might curse you. I might just try to, and she says, I'm going to try to bring myself to a level where I am above you and I can beat you.
I love that. I love that response. She was so unbothered by like Evah. She remained like composed and unbothered in presentation to Evah, and I thought that was the best way to combat Evah because I think Evah was trying to get like a little bit of a rise out of JK in that moment.
But also, it's interesting to see Evah in that light as well, because like both of the previous seasons, she would have gotten in her head immediately. Even like in the beginning of the episode when JK just announced she was coming up to her, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, no, I'm in totally new Evah." That was funny. The person who came for Evah completely unexpectedly and very funnily was actually Disasterina, who said this. Well, but if you win on your 3rd try, does it even count? Then Abhora goes, "Oh, it's Spicerina. I love Spicerina."
Just like it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I agree. When you win is when you win. Like, it doesn't matter if This is your 4th or 5th time?
Yeah. So, yeah, it was really fun. And then we get this little shady moment from Priscilla, and she's like, girl, how are you doing so good? To JK of like, I can't believe you're doing better than XYZ. And she's like, do you think I shouldn't have been been doing as well on this competition? And Priscilla's like, no, I don't like it. it was really fun. Stupid.
I think they underestimated JK coming into the season.
Well, I mean, let's just do a quick little gander here at the Dragula Titans cast, right? Outside of everyone on this cast, right? Outside of no, honestly, even including JK was the lowest placing competitor out of everyone on this cast on their original season, right? Yes, I did double check. So out of everyone here on their original season, JK placed the lowest because Jaharia got 6th. That was the only person that had to double check on. And if I see JK's back, I think they're just here for the drama. You know, they're here for the tea, and you know, in the idea of I see JK at this competition as a Dragula competitor, right? But I mean, I also know that JK is incredible and sickening and lovely, and I would never disrespect them in that way. But I could see where they would be coming from based off of what we saw in season 5 of how that JK was edited and how JK came across on camera. Even though JK once again did nothing wrong, and JK was in the right in literally every single circumstance on season 5. Thank you very much. But I will defend JK to the end of my life from that.
But also, unlike JK had a win actually on season 5, unlike say Jaharia either on season 6 or who else? Who was in early out?
Jaharia and Cynthia were the only 2 that didn't have wins on this cast, and Jade.
Yes, and Jade also.
Jade,
was
yeah. Go watch Loris's win on season 1 of Dragula. It's great. Beside the point, though, we do get a little bit more of the Blackberri Cynthia mess. It's not honestly nearly as entertaining as the other argument in the episode from them, but I don't care how long this goes. They could argue about this for the rest of the season and not even change the dialogue, and I'll be entertained. So keep it coming, girls.
Yeah, I'm surprised they keep finding ways to relitigate what really could be explained as like a really dumb twist. Like it was just a dumb twist and that was it. But it has turned into something so, if this goes all season, I'm going to be so like, okay, yeah, so episode 10, they're still fighting.
I can't wait.
They're fighting at the crowning. Like,
there we go. So we go back onto the main stage and we find out that Priscilla and Disasterina are going up to the gallows. How did you all feel in this moment? Cynthia is safe for the record. We get a little hug with Cynthia and JK as well. How did you all feel in this moment when it was these 2 going up? What was your expectation?
I honestly didn't know who of the 2 they were going to eliminate. I did not expect what happened, and we'll get to that. But because of both of them, I felt like both of them are kind of, to be honest, overlooked by the judges. I think both of them have had great looks and moments that the judges kind of glossed over at times in this competition. And yeah, like I felt like if either of them went, I would understand from what the Boulets were saying on the critiques. Personally, I don't agree, but yeah, I did not know which of the 2. I didn't even expect, I didn't expect what happened. I'll say that.
Same here. It was completely gagged at what happened finally, but yeah, I agree with you. Priscilla kind of got more of her flowers. Disasterina was majorly overlooked, and I was just sad that it was the bottom 2, but it was objectively the bottom 2. I think we all kind of agreed that, yeah, and I just didn't want either of them to go, to be frank, but I didn't expect that. What happened?
Yeah, I will say personally, I really didn't know who was going to go home. I know who I would say preferred to go home here because I don't want either of them to go. I do like them both quite a bit. I was really hopeful that Disasterina would make it through this. I didn't think Disasterina should have been in the bottom two this week, to be honest. I still think it should have been others.
I don't think it should have been Priscilla either. I think they should have just let Priscilla be safe this week because of the importance of her message. That's just me.
Yeah,
I'm not the Boulets.
Imagine the gag if the bottom two this week were Evah and Sigourney. Because there's a world where it could have been even Sigourney. I'm just saying. But we go up to the gallows, and we get the little walk-up messages from both of them, and Disasterina says something a little sad, and she's like, you can't expect to go up to the gallows time and time again and be safe every time. I'm like, we've only been up once. It's okay. It's okay.
Is it?
But apparently it's not. Disasterina does get dropped through the gallows, and everyone on stage is sad. They are all sad. And then Priscilla also dropped through the gallows, which then brings out Evah Destruction's every biannual mid-season cry on the season.
As she said herself, yeah, it's great. But Abhora is also crying and distraught, which is pretty rare. And then Jaharia gives a phenomenal confessional saying, this is chaos. Abhora is crying. Evah is crying.
We get a moment from Blackberri here, too. Blackberry's like, I don't want either of them to go as people. But as competition, get them out of here. And you know what? That is a refreshing take, Blackberri. Thank you very much.
I respect it. Honestly, they're like, I love these people. I'll see them on the outside, but there's only one winner in here, and it's going to be me. And I like that attitude. I feel bad for Abhora because her haunted house party group, she's the only one left of that group now. And that's a sad thought.
It's also even sadder when you consider that's all of the old season people except for Abhora. And I mean, and Evah too. But like, when you really think about it, like season 3, gone, Evah. Season 1, been gone. Season 2, just Abhora now. These newer season monsters are just, I don't want to say dominating this competition, but they kind of are dominating this competition. Yeah, so next week, will we have a 3-way Hellbound Showdown? Most likely. However, this week, we will not have a 3-way Hellbound Showdown as we perhaps expected, because Zavaleta off-screen was disqualified for breaking conduct rules, was the explanation we were given in the show. They don't go in depth. It's a little text splash after the Extermination and before the Hellbound Showdown. I was shocked. Like, truly and utterly shocked at this.
I'm not going to try and theorize what it is, because it could be something very serious that we just don't need to kind of speculate about. But I'm going to be honest, Boulets, if this is the DQ you have been upping all season, I'm disappointed. I am so disappointed if this is it. Like, what the heck? Like you said, like this is an off-screen disqualification. They made it seem like there was going to be some big show. You know, there's still season left, so we'll see. But if this is it, I'm disappointed in the Boulets for how they're like marketing all this stuff. It feels a little scummy to me.
I was kind of expecting that it was Dollya who had been disqualified, and that made more sense, even off screen. Like, I don't care, but it's interesting, to see this development.
Yeah. So importantly here, we should be clear. There has been no information as to what exactly occurred to get Zavala disqualified. People that are speculating about it online, it's none of your damn business. If Zava wants to talk about it, or the Blaze or someone else involved in the season wants to talk about it, they'll talk about it. it's not our business unless somebody decides to make it our business. And honestly, when we find out, we find out. If we do, and if we don't, we can only go based on the show. So at this point, Zabaleta is officially eliminated from the competition. No Hellbound Showdown appearance. But it is time to talk about the Hellbound Showdown this week of Jade Jolie versus Dollya Black. I'm just going to say, whelming. I was whelmed. Like, it wasn't awful, but it wasn't anything like mind-blowing for me. And when compared to like some of the other Hellbound Showdown outfits we've been given in the past, where like Loris comes out in this beautiful latex outfit, or like the lip sync performance that Jade gave last week that was like really captivating to look at, and like Loris's outfit that she brought last week. They both did good looks. They were both serviceable. Both of their acts of filth were fine, I suppose. Well, one of them was fine. One of them was a choice.
Dollya's was not an act of filth, in my opinion. Look, I'm totally fine with like, violating social norms and having not disturbing, but sort of like provocative iconography. I mean, Satan's on my shirt right now, so I'm all for like, all this sort of like religious sort of commentary, but more gore, please. Like it missed the mark on the filth aspect for me. I think that's where Jade excelled, was the filth aspect.
Yes. And it was so unexpected because Jade kind of fell short on filth aspect during her season, and this was what definitely pushed her win for me. And Groundhog Day, who could ever thought of this?
Yeah, it is Groundhog Day. I know on Reddit and online elsewhere they were kind of like, what is Jade Jolie? She's Groundhog Day. So
yeah, she said it herself on the Instagram. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know some people were a little bit confused. I liked it. I thought it looked cool. But yeah, the only thing I was a little surprised that they walked at the same time and they had them on the floor show at the same time, which last week I got. It's a lip sync performance. Sure. Cool. The first week they didn't do that. And I was kind of surprised they did it in this scenario where there's not really the same performance aspect that we got out of the Nosferatu Beach Party. But I think one of them really stood out to me, and I'm going to say before we discuss the outcome, I agree with the outcome.
I agree.
Same. Hands down.
And of course, we now have experienced permadeath for Dollya Black, Godspeed, and Jade Jolie for the second time will remain in the Hellbound Showdown as we move on. If this is how we're getting Jade this season, we're getting Jade this season.
She's getting the Silky journey.
Oh my God! Wait, Silky wasn't in the first one. Came in the second episode and ran the.
Jade is getting the Silky,
and then she's just gonna get taken out by whoever gets eliminated in fourth, and they're gonna come in and the Silky bracket, right?
Yeah.
So,
still, that's a redemption.
True.
Yeah.
So with this episode, we have officially lost 2 more people. And I'm guessing next week we're either going to lose 2 more or we're going to lose 1 more as we move on through the Hellbound Showdown. We are officially down to 7 monsters in the competition very quickly.
Yeah, from 11 to 7. 7-11 episodes.
I mean, they had to. There was 14 monsters. They had to at some point be like, okay, we got to get these monsters out of here.
They could have had more episodes.
And they're bringing someone back. That's whack.
They not. It makes me wonder. Like, are they not certain that this is going to be a series? Because I don't know. I feel like you can get another Titan series pretty soon after this as well.
I think they wanted. Okay, so when we compare. Let's compare it to Drag Race All-Stars. It's the best comparison we have, right? Mm-hmm. Drag Race All-Stars is a yearly branded series now. It happens every year. I'm going to just be blunt here, as much as I love a lot of the people that have came back on All-Stars in recent seasons. we have mostly depleted the well of people who did really good at Drag Race the first time they showed up, right? Outside of the more recent seasons worth that haven't had enough time to like go in for All-Stars yet. I believe like most of the runner-ups have been on All-Stars at this point. I know like there are a couple exceptions that like Pearl hasn't been back, obviously. Kim G hasn't been back, but like for the most part, most of them have. And you know, we've doubled and we've tripled, and now we have the international franchises that are also All-Stars. Like Drag Race All-Stars has kind of turned into Drag Race second, third, fourth, fifth chances, and that's fine, right? I don't think the Boulets want to do that with Dragula Titans. I think they kind of want to keep it as these are people that we would like to see come back because we appreciate the drag that they bring and we want to give them another chance to win, but we don't want to give this chance to everybody. And we're also seeing with Dragula Season 7 coming up, spoiler alert if you don't want to know cast spoilers for Season 7, there are some early outs from previous seasons that are on this new season of Dragula that's coming up. Which also the choices that they made for that.
Very excited.
If you want to look up who, I'm going to mention names here in case you do genuinely want to remain and spoil. If you want to look it up for yourself, you're going to be probably very happy.
The cast is out there.
The cast is out there. It's readily available. So I think they kind of like this being these are the people that the Titans of Dragula. And then if they want to bring back an early boot, they can bring back an early boot. Or they can randomly put a runner-up on another season of regular Dragula for some reason, which they have also done. So who knows? But I don't think they should try to over-sequelize Titans. I think they bring it up when they want to. Shudder's going to give them the money for it whenever they do because they know they get a big boost and a bump in ratings whenever Dragula comes out. And at this point, I think they're doing okay. So we'll see where Titans go as a franchise after the season. We do know we have another season of Dragula premiering in the new year, so keep an eye out for that.
I do agree. I hope it's something that they keep it a little scarce, like every few years that they do. Because, I mean, we're looking at All-Stars 11 next year, and I'm already getting like... I mean, I'm excited. I love more Drag Race is amazing. More drag is amazing. But like, oh my gosh, another 18 queens coming in. That is insane.
Now, the real question is, out of everybody that's on All-Stars 11, who's going to be back for their fourth time? It'll be somebody. It'll be somebody. I have managed to remain unspoiled on All-Stars 11 in terms of like the full cast. I've seen a couple of like tiny things of like,
Sam.
I know who the top two are, and I'm bummed because I didn't want to get spoiled on that. Somebody just dropped it on Twitter, and I'm like, really? And then I saw the top two, I'm like, really? Okay. But I don't know who else on it, but I'm excited to see. But back to Dragula. It's a draft update. Yay!
My least favorite part.
Mike, you may not be doing as well as you would hope, but you are on the come up. So after this week, a lot has changed. We have now lost essentially four people in one episode. So after this episode, in fourth place with 41.5 points is Mike.
I only have two people left.
Most people only have two people left for context.
Okay, fair.
In second place, I believe, also with only two. In third place, also with only two people left. I think. Let me double check. With two people and a Jade, Jolie in the Hellbound Showdown left, is Logan. And after this episode, Micha is currently in second place with 57.5 points. I am currently in first with 58. I am ahead by half a point.
Great.
I am the only person left with three people still in the main competition. Micha lost two people this week. So we shall see where we go from here. Mike is hanging on. Logan's hanging on. Micha and I are like staring at each other with daggers in our eyes. But the question is, who's going to win the draft? I don't know. Who's going to win the season of Dragula? Don't know. We don't know.
But what we know is what the challenge is going to be next week, because Boulets, for the first time ever, spoiled the challenge.
Yeah.
We're getting the Ghost Town challenge back.
Thank God. I mean, I adore it. It's my favorite challenge, probably, from season 6.
This is the season 2 Ghost Town challenge. Is my absolute favorite floor show we have ever had on Dragula. Period. Point blank and the period. Because, oh dear God, there are so many all-timer looks in that floor show. Go watch the episode if you can find it, because I know they just took season 2 and 3 off Shudder for some reason. But go look for it if you can find it. That floor show is iconic and it is amazing. It's Abhora's single best look she's ever worn on Dragula too, by the way. And I stand by that. So let us know down below though. We're now at the halfway point in the season. Who do you think is going to win Dragula Titans? Let us know why you think Frankie Doom is going to stage an elaborate comeback and win. Let us know down below. Fellow panelists, I must ask you, who do you think is going to be winning a season of Dragula?
That's a close call.
There are a lot of good options.
Mm-hmm. I am going to say, you know what? This is what all-star seasons are all about. You know, I love a redemption arc. I'm going for JK.
I concur. I'm manifesting it because I want it.
I mean, this is still a very close call between 3 of my favorites, like JK, Jaharia, and Evah. I really don't know. I think it's going to be a great storyline if JK does it. But maybe it'd be even more surprising if Jaharia does it. So I I'm on the fence.
There's a lot of options, y'all. We still got 7 monsters in the game. 10 technically in the game, because you never know what's going to happen with the Hellbound Showdown. For all we know, Jade Jolie could win this crown. So come back next week for us talking about episode 6, where we're going back to Ghost Town. I'm curious if this is going to involve the eliminated monsters in any capacity. I'm kind of hoping it does, because it is...
With paintball.
What'd you say?
With paintball.
Paintball part 2. Shoot Monique Shame in the face again. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
But no. I'm curious if the original plan for this was that it would involve the eliminated contestants, because it is half of them out, half of them not. And they did tell them in advance in a way that made it seem like something was going to happen involving the eliminated people. But we'll see where we're at next week.
The main thing I'm wondering though is Zavaleta is DQ'd, so I don't know if that would throw a wrench in stuff if they were trying to pair off eliminated queens with somebody who is still alive.
Yeah, and also we have all of the eliminated people are competing in another challenge that they didn't tell the other people about to come back in the competition.
That they have to keep tight-lipped about if they're going to be in with the contestants still in it.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. And also, just for the record, if they're expecting Jade Jolie to keep her mouth shut about a twist.
Well, they just need to tell her because she's still in it. It'd be like, if you spoil it, you're out.
But we shall see what happens. But until next time, everyone, thank you so much for joining us here today at the Cup. Tune in next week for us to talk about episode 6. We're going back to the Ghost Town. We'll see what happens. Let us know down below, who do you think should have won this floor show? And let us know down below as well, who do you think should have went home? Should it have been a double, or I guess a quadruple elimination episode? Let us know. And we'll see you all next time. Go ahead and check out our links to all of our other channels down below, our audio podcast links, and our merch link where you can buy, including but not limited to, Cup Mug at logicreations.etsy.com. That link is in the description down below and in the ticker. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week, everybody. Cheers. Bye.